You jumped out there during the beef, the West Coast versus the Canadian. And
You made a bold move during the West Coast versus Canadian conflict, and I believe that Dr. Dre had put you on, that Dr. Dre was the set, and that you were faithful to Dr. Dre, that is, you chose the Canadian over Dr. Dre, Cat. This very moment, one more, applause. The never-ending drama between Rick Ross and 50 Cent is heating up again, and this time Ross is calling 50 out for being disloyal to Dr. Dre and the West Coast. I've seen her, Ross, take a shot at you a couple weeks ago about a girl that you not even with No More Nothing Else works, but him, outside of mentioning me, things get bad. You mentioned me just as the rivalry between Kendrick and Drake was intensifying, and Kendrick was uniting the entire industry against the Sixth God. 50 decided to fly to Toronto and link up with Drake. Now 50 isn't a West Coast native, but he definitely owes a lot to Dear Drake, so it's raising eyebrows that he's suddenly backing Drake, especially after Drake's recent shady moves like disrespecting Tupac to the point where Tupac's family had to step in and put him in his place. What's even more bizarre is that 50 spent all that time dragging Diddy over his alleged depraved crimes, but he's now teeing up with Drake right after Kendrick hinted at those PDF file rumors about Drake and his OVO crew. Now, some fans are saying that maybe 50 is just stirring the pot in his feud with Rick Ross rather than genuinely supporting Drake. Others, however, are saying he's still shady for backing Drake so publicly. So what exactly did Ross accuse 50 of in terms of betraying Dear Dre, and how did 50 respond to this? Let's break it all down. I ain't know. I thought loyalty, but you did shut the up. Once the Canadian took the L, you got totally quiet. You did, so Ross questions 50's loyalty, so Ross decided to reignite his feud with 50 Cent. And you already know this is about to get messy. Here's what went down. Ross recently caught wind of a clip from an upcoming episode of $1 Million Worth of Game where 50 Cent responded to Jill's question about his beef with Ross. Fifth basically said that Ross doesn't much going on for him, so whenever he needs to grab some attention, he starts dragging 50's name. Take a shot at you a couple weeks ago about a girl that you not even with no more than. What is it with you and Ross that's just been going on for so long? I spend, see right, nothing else works for him outside of mentioning me when things get bad. You mention me and get covered first. You see, TMZ is say 50 Cent said this is going to be bad for Earth Gotti's career. I get covered across the board. Yeah, they get covered on the hip-hop blogs. It is what it is, yeah. And you watch, because I have nothing else to say. You'll just see it happen periodically. Yeah, as it goes, you see that big white elephant, that property he lives at, it costs more than the nightclubs. He's in the nightclubs. Yeah, we know what they can give you. They can't pay you more than they can pay you because the room can't hold enough people for them to give you the money to stay there. They can stay into your squatter holding on to the leg of the chair that the move, but that's what it is. It's just a part of presentation. Yeah, come on, bro, you can see this. You don't need me to say. Did you notice? Yeah, look at it. What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why? You out there cutting your own grass, you're trying to save money. They have a broken seat in that you don't want to pay to have the lawn mowed, huh? Allow me to pose this question to you. So after this clip started making the rounds online, Ross took to IG to address the situation. He first threw a little shade at Jill, renaming the podcast The Wallow Show, and then he questioned 50's loyalty to Dre, implying that 50 betrayed Dre by siding with Drake. Just seen a clip of The Wallow Show where he was interviewing 50 Cent, and the other little dude asked him a question, small talk, but ultimately the question that should have been asked was, you jumped out there during the beef, the West Coast versus the Canadian, and I thought Dear Dre put you on. I thought Dear Dre was the set. I thought you was loyal to Dear Dre. You mean you went with the Canadian over Dear Dre, who you say changed your life? I ain't know. I thought loyalty, but you did shut the once the Canadian took the L. You got totally quiet. You did so now, back in the day. Whenever Ross and 50 Cent were beefing, fans would almost always side with 50. And let's be real, it had a lot to do with Ross's past as a correctional officer, which fans just couldn't get over. But this time around, the tables are turning as much as it hurts. Some folks, to admit it, they're actually leaning toward Ross's side and saying 50's been moving weird lately now. Some fans are defending 50, saying he's always been about the hustle first and foremost, and he's just making smart business moves. But others are seriously side-eyeing him for linking up with Drake. After all, it's not like 50 needs Drake to expand his empire. So the timing of it all was just off. So what was 50's real reason for publicly endorsing Drake right in the middle of the Kendrick beef? What did he stand to gain by flying out to Toronto and stirring the pot? 50 sides with Drake. So back in July, just as rumors were swirling about Drake getting Schoolboy Q's concert canceled in Toronto, 50 Cent dropped a bombshell by sharing a photo of himself and Drake living it up at the Cabana Pool Bar in Toronto. 50 revealed that he and Drake are cooking up a joint TV project, and even teased fans with the caption, "Brainstorming last night with Champagne Poppy, going to get the camera rolling, biggest thing on your TV." Meanwhile, another clip was circulating online showing 50 and Drake kicking back and cracking up over drinks. So word on the street is that 50 Cent is trying to expand his power universe, and rumor has it that the project he and Drake were brainstorming might touch on Drake's past life as an actor and producer. But whatever 50's motive are for teaming up with Drake right now, the hip-hop community, especially those on the West Coast, are not having. They're calling this move a major betrayal, and saying there's a fine line between being a hustler and having no principles when it comes to chasing that. Check on top of that, people are seriously questioning how 50 Cent, who was discovered by Dre, doesn't feel some type of way about getting cozy with someone who's been blatantly disrespecting the West Coast in Tupac. See Kendrick's diss tracks aimed at Drake, especially Not Like Us, united Drake haters in a way we've never seen before in hip-hop history. But what's really interesting is how this has brought Kendrick even closer to the entire West Coast. The fact that Allah played a role in knocking down one of the biggest rap stars in the world is a historic moment in itself. But here's the thing, it goes even deeper than that. Drake's been doing and saying things that would naturally rub the West Coast the wrong way. And while Kendrick and Drake have had beef brewing for over a decade, the West Coast issues with Drizzy are a bit more recent. Drake actually fired the first official shot in this F by dissing Kendrick, making fun of his height, shoe size, and most importantly bragging that he's more loved in LA than Kendrick is on Pushy, but strict WPS gets more love in the city that you from. Kendrick didn't specifically address that line about LA or any of his songs, but rather than answering with words, he let his actions speak for him. He pulled off one of the most epic rap performances in recent memory, demonstrating to the world how the culture is feeling. Judging by the enormous turnout at Kendrick's pop-out show in NGW, the lineup of performers, and the legends who joined him on stage to rap Not Like Us, it was evident that Drake most definitely does not get more love than Kendrick. Hold applause up, hold look, and we're going to choose a group selection. This is unity at its best, Englewood. Look this way, everyone. California, y'all did this. Los Angeles, y'all did this. Me proud than the mother man. Y'all just don't know this emotional dog. We done lost a lot of homies to this music. Lot of homies to some street, and for all of us to be on the stage. Together, unity from each side of Mother Crips. Blood's power rules. Special man, we put this together just for y'all. But here's the thing, Drake didn't just stop there. He kept doubling down with even more disrespectful shots at the West Coast. But his biggest misstep was probably that Tupac AI voice stunt on a random Friday night. Drake dropped tailor-made freestyle on Instagram, and get this, the song used AI to manipulate the voices of West Coast legends Tupac and Snoop Dogg, making it sound like they were disappointed in Kendrick.